Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video. This one is a tag project that I did for ScrapFX, and you may well have seen a photograph of this on the ScrapFX Creative site if you are a member of that on Facebook. So this was a tag that I created. It's quite a large tag, and these are the face masks. They are so good, they're so expressive. So first of all there, I was just kind of auditioning them just to see, make sure that they would fit properly on the page, on the tag rather. And then I'm just using these three colours. I've got turquoise, peacock and eggplant, and I am just swiping them down the tag to create that pattern. Then I am using one of the Circles Galore stencils that I designed for ScrapFX, and I'm using this with some lavender paint from Dina Wakley. So I'm just putting this on just to break up those dark colours, just to bring a bit of contrast into the foreground of the tag, but didn't want white. So using one of the pastel colours is a nice kind of quite a subtle way to do this really. It's not quite as stark as using white or black on your background. And this is one of my favourite stencils. I really like this one. So it's quite a nice one to use. You get some nice areas of colour and you get those nice areas of the background showing through as well. So I'm using the pouncing movement with my blending tool because that creates a bit more opacity with the layering of the paint. So this is the Vision stencil from Dina Wakley, and here I'm using, not from Dina Wakley, sorry, from ScrapFX, goodness me. And here I'm just using some blackberry with that, but I already still had a bit of lavender on my blending tool, so it's mixed to create that quite nice pale blackberry / lavender colour, which works quite well. So that's quite a busy background already. And then I decided I would use the I'm just seeing what, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's mixed mark making stamp. So it's got, you can see it's got those three different components to it. And here I'm just using that circle, stamping that on using some archival ink in a really nice sort of peacocky colour, just to bring some more pattern onto there, because why not? It's not busy enough already, is it yet? Yes, it's quite a nice stamp that you kind of get three for the price of one. And of course you could cut it up if you wanted to. It would cut up very easily. Then I wanted to just calm the background down, so don't panic here, but I am just swiping some watered down white paint over the top. And I have to be honest, at this point I did think, oh, okay, that went on a bit darker than I thought it would do, a bit heavier. So I've got this kitchen towel, paper towel, and you can see it's quite textured, so it leaves a bit of a pattern behind, which I quite like. So I just layered that on and mopped up a bit of the excess, and then I was really quite happy with that. So because I've gone in with purples and blues on the background, I didn't want to use black here, so I went in with night because I felt it would play better with the colours that were already there. And now I'm using three of the face masks. There are, I think you get 5 or 6 in the set. It's really great value, and these are such lovely faces. So I'm just popping 3 of them on my tag and just making sure I can position them properly to get them all in. I'm going to have to overlap them a little bit, and just rubbing a bit away there, can you see, just to try and make a bit more space for it. Because my background was dry, I could do this without creating too much havoc on the tag. Wanted to make sure that I'd be able to see the eyes properly when I masked over this part of this stencil, just so that it would work properly. It's just a case of sort of holding everything really, really still, as they are quite small, but as you can see, they're quite bold and create quite a striking look. So once I'd got them all masked on, I then decided that I would just calm down a little bit of the background that was left in the places where the faces were not. Does that make sense? That must be a really difficult way to say that. I'm sure I've made that sound harder than it was. So now the real bits of background you can see are the bits that are peeping through the faces. And then just really simply, I'm using one of the circle quotes from the transparency from Scrap Effects. And because, look, it gets lost as it is, I thought, okay, I'm just going to pop some white paint on the back of it, using a blending tool, just dabbing that on. That means that will now show up on my tag, and it works, fits perfectly in that space. I think I actually just stapled that in place. Yes. While the paint was wet as well. So the paint will act as a bit of a glue once it dries. But just for the ease of it, I've just decided I would staple it on. And then I am being incredibly lazy, couldn't be bothered to get my white paint out, so I just used my Posca pen and coloured on my stamp. So, you know, there's a little note that does work, works perfectly well. And I did wipe it off once I was finished, as I would do if I was using paint on my stamp, because it's the same, it's still acrylic paint that's in the Posca pens. And this is just adding a little bit of contrast and breaking up those dark areas a little bit more. Then finally, a little bit of ribbon pulled through the top. And that was pretty much it for this tag. So it was quite a simple and yet striking tag to create. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this very quick video, just a quick one showing you how easy it is to create something quite striking on a tag using Scrap FX goodies. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.